Guys, I'm going to release this a little bit later. I just did a live stream on a lot of different things. Some Eagles-related news on both fronts, and I'll combine this video into one video. Desean Jackson is going back to Philadelphia. We have to see the terms of the deal, but I'm pretty sure it's for like a 5th-round pick, 6th or a 4th. If they got a 4th out of the deal, that's good work by the Tampa Bay Bucks. It's probably going to be a 5th-rounder for Desean Jackson, an older wide receiver, but he comes home, and now Nelson Agholor could possibly be headed out of Philadelphia. But this is a really good deal for Philly. Desean Jackson is beloved in this city. He's one of the most beloved athletes in the city of Philadelphia. He's responsible for so many big plays with Michael Vick. The miracle at the Meadowlands, Desean Jackson as a punt returner and as a receiver still has Giants fans kind of scared of Desean Jackson, and for good reason. This guy is a burner. He's now going to be working with Carson Wentz. He was shipped out by Chip Kelly. There was some crazy reporting about Desean Jackson that he was related to like some kind of gang activity, and none of that was really proven. So Chip Kelly just pretty much riddled the Eagles of shady and Desean Jackson. But now the Eagles get a feel-good story. Desean's coming home. He's coming to a contender. And obviously, I think Desean will probably make like $8 or $9 million. You'll overpay him probably a little bit. But I think that the guy is going to come in. I think Desean Jackson, let me check his age real quick. I believe Desean might be in his early 30s as a receiver. You're going to be getting him for a couple of more years, Desean Jackson. And Desean is, he is 32 years old. So Nelson Agholor, Nelson's going to command a lot on the free market. If Jamison Crowder just went for $9 million, then I believe that Cole Beasley is probably going to go for a very similar rate of maybe 10 or 11. And believe it or not, Nelson Agholor is actually going to go for like $11 million or $12 million on the open market. I mean, even Allen Hurns is making big money for the Dallas Cowboys and for the Jaguars. So Nelson Agholor is going to be making some money. And now the Eagles also get Malik Jackson. I'll add that to my video. I believe that this was a really good day for Howie Roseman. Malik Jackson is a Super Bowl champion. He's a good defensive tackle. He can stop the run. He does exactly what Jernigan's does. And Malik Jackson is a fine signing, a good character in the locker room. I think he's a more predictable guy in the locker room than a Michael Bennett that has alienated himself from several locker rooms. And clearly Michael Bennett getting dealt for a 5th-round pick with the $9 million that Michael Bennett has to him is clearly a sign, I think, of the Eagles and Michael Bennett and the chemistry not being perfect. And that's what I warned Eagles fans last year. Now let's talk about Nicholas Foles. So Nick Foles goes to Jacksonville. Nick Foles in his career, he's had a pretty dang good couple of years, guys. I mean, Nick Foles lit up the Honey Badger. He lit up the Texans for 444 yards, 4 TDs. He might have even thrown for 500 yards against the Texans. Nick Foles also went to the Coliseum. He went to the LA Rams. He beat the LA Rams. Nick Foles was like 5-1 this year as a starting quarterback for the Eagles. He helped the Eagles get into the playoffs. And then Nick Foles, when Nick Foles went to Chicago to play Eddie Jackson, to play Khalil Mack, to play Roquan Smith, and all of the elite guys on the Bears defense. This Bears defense was the best defense in the NFL. Nick Foles, I believe he might have turned it over one time in the game. Nick Foles protected the football, and he engineered a clutch 50-yard touchdown drive to win the football game. So Nick Foles to Jacksonville, you're getting him for $22 million. It's a really good deal. I mean, Kirk Cousins is absolutely in the same ballpark as Nick Foles as a starting quarterback, and Kirk's making $28, $29 million. So Jacksonville, for 4 years, you get Nick Foles. Nick Foles can win you Super Bowls, and with that defense, this is absolutely a really good decision for Jacksonville. If you trot out a Dwayne Haskins, if you trot out a Kyler Murray, they absolutely can mess up. But now you have John DeFilippo, who worked with Nick Foles. This was rumored for weeks and weeks, and now it finally comes to fruition in this specific way on this specific day. And I think the Jacksonville did absolutely fine. I don't think they messed up. I think the only teams that really messed up today in free agency, and by the way, with free agency, there's no way of telling whether guys fail until the regular season starts, until either their play is not good, right? Their play or their luck. I mean, unfortunately, guys, we pray for each player in the NFL to be healthy, and nobody likes seeing injuries, especially me. I don't like seeing injuries happen, but we don't know who wins and loses. Maybe Landon Collins plays like 2016 Landon Collins for about 3 or 4 years for the Washington Redskins. I think Redskins fans are jacked about Landon Collins. I mean, today is all a day of thinking optimistically. When you're in the wintertime, you are thinking optimistically about the fall. You are always putting your optimistic point of view forward. But I believe Trent Brown, a journeyman 7th rounder, who I hear from 49ers fans is not a good run blocker, paying him $66.5 million or paying him $16.5 million for 4 years is quite a steep price for Trent Brown. Landon Collins, paying him till he's 32 years old, $14 million, making him the highest paid safety for a guy that is very sketchy and can't really cover tight ends that well, for a guy that can't move all that effectively as a safety in the modern NFL, is definitely a price that I think was too steep. So I would view those teams as, I'm not going to say losers, but more towards the negative side when I view their what they did in free agency. Jamison Crowder, I believe you could find guys in the draft in the 5th round and pay them $900,000 rather than pay a guy $9 million. Jamison Crowder is going to have to probably catch 5 or 6 touchdowns, and he's probably going to have to haul in, I don't know how many passes, but he's going to have to be damn good for the Jets. But overall, the Eagles made pretty decent moves. Again, they're just little splashes. Desean Jackson's more of a feel-good story. It's not a huge splash. And Nick Foles to Jacksonville, I think is a pretty dang good move for the Jacksonville Jaguars in their franchise. I think that you guys are getting a guy that beat the Vikings defense, a guy that beat Atlanta. He beat the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. He's incredible on the big stage, very calm, good quarterback. There is a chance that Nick Foles is not elite for 16 games, but we need to pray for Nick Foles to be healthy and pray for him to get through the full season and see how far he goes with Jacksonville. I'm really excited for Nick that he gets a starting opportunity. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And even as an Eagle, me being a Giants fan, Nick Foles, I didn't hate Nick Foles. He is just, he's that good of a person. You're getting a tremendous person in Jacksonville. And it's exciting for Nick Foles and John DeFilippo for sure. So thank you guys for watching the show. Free agency is totally wild. And there's still a lot of dominoes to fall, but it's all coming in today, and it's coming in heavy right now. It's a heavy snowfall of free agents. It's a crazy time out there. Alrighty, guys. Thanks. Enjoy the day. Take care. Have a great one.